Hi, parents. Welcome to Curriculum Night or Parent Information Night. I do apologize for not being able to be here uh, in person, but hopefully, after watching this video, you'll have a little bit more of an understanding of the classroom and our happenings here in fourth grade. And also, if you have any questions, Mrs. Barker will be able to assist you with that. GCISD is all about Portrait of a Graduate. We believe that students should be collaborative workers, global citizens, skilled problem solvers, effective communicators, and self-regulated learners or workers. And so basically everything that we design in our class, we hope that it helps them, prepares them to be these things, and it sets up opportunities for students to work collaboratively with one another. Plenty of opportunities for them to communicate in various ways and solve problems. The first few slides are going to go over kind of what we cover in each content area. And so humanities is really broken down into reading, language arts, or writing, and social studies. And in social studies, we cover Texas history. So it's a pretty exciting year for fourth graders. They usually love Texas history. We do a lot of projects with social studies. So don't be surprised if your kids come home asking you for some glue and different materials. We try not to have you spend any money, but anyway, they do love making projects with that. For reading, we use a reading workshop model, just like they did in third grade. We have mini lessons, and then kids go off to read independently while we are walking around having conferences with students, and also we pull guided reading groups. Then in language arts or writing, we use the same thing. It's a writing workshop model. We have a mini lesson. The kids go off, they practice it in their writing notebooks. We also, like starting out the year, we're going to be on a unit of realistic fiction. So right now, they recently started writing realistic fiction stories. And this year in fourth grade, we do have the STAR writing tests. So children will be writing an expository. So later in the year, we'll focus directly on expository writing and essay writing. We also have vocabulary. Vocabulary is every other week. It's every week they're assigned a new vocabulary list. It's usually 5 words. We study those extensively in class, and then they have a little vocabulary quiz every other Friday. And the point of the vocabulary is that they can begin using the words they are learning in their writing. And then we do have a spelling program. We use Words Their Way. It's a differentiated spelling program, so kids are not going to be all getting the same list. We'll probably have 3 or 4 different spelling groups. And that what they have these words that we cut out. They sort them by the spelling pattern. They'll be bringing those sorts home so they can work on them at home. But also every day we'll integrate word work where they will work through their spelling sorts and spelling patterns. So in math, we do basically a math workshop model. Children, we have a mini lesson, and then they break off and they go to different stations. And we're going to have about 4 different stations. Children will get an opportunity to work with a teacher. We call it teacher time. Then they have a paper pencil. Well, they'll be practicing the skill that they learned that day. They have tub time, which is going to be a variety of activities and choices they can choose from. And then they have tech time. And so all of that, every day they'll rotate through each station. And motivation math, really what that is that's a great way to help them prepare for the STAR math test. And so we'll be using some problems for motivation math. All right, in science, we in fourth grade will continue to do something that they did in third grade. It was called the Mastery Checklist. So every unit, they will receive a new Mastery Checklist. And on that, they will have the learning targets, like what it is that they need to know by the end of the unit. They will also have a variety of different activities that they must complete. And then they have some activities that they can work on whenever they finish all the other activities. So this might not be new for many of you. You probably saw it last year. And this is a great way, the Mastery Checklist is great for standards-based assessment or reporting because it really tells me what they know if they've mastered the concept or whatever was in the unit. And this is just a quick overview of all of the different units that we have here in fourth grade. So as you know, GES is one-to-one, and every student is assigned an iPad. We are managing apps through Meraki. What I'm discovering is that many times if students try to download an app during the day, it doesn't work until night. So sometimes I might assign children homework of just downloading some apps. We do not play on the iPad, and so please, if your child brings their iPad home, you can monitor that as far as some of the games that they have on there. If you think it's too much of a game, just send me an email and I can verify if that's actually something that we've been using in class. Oh, and I'm so sorry. We do need to make sure that the iPads are fully charged. So every night they can go home and make sure we plug them in and bring them back fully charged. So this year in fourth grade, our homework is a little bit different. It is differentiated math homework. It's going to be inside of their yellow star folder. Every week or every other week, they're going to be receiving a new homework sheet. Really, it's going to be every week. On Mondays, we're going to set goals as far as the learning that they would like to accomplish through their homework for that week. There's going to be at least 3 different sections of activities that they can work on for math. For instance, like a warm-up activity, and then they'll have a section where they can choose a practice activity. Now, what's great about it is, like I said, it's differentiated. We know that not everybody's on the same level, wherefore, why are they doing the same homework? It is new to us in fourth grade, and I believe third grade and fifth grade, they're also piloting it this year. Now, for reading and writing and as humanities concerned, the main thing is that students are reading at least 20 minutes every night. And we are doing GCISD reads. Basically, this year, students have the choice. If they can either choose by reading books by genre, by counting up the number of books they read, or they can count the pages. And Ms. Wapakichi actually did a lesson with the children last week on the GCISD Reads program. And if you have any questions on that, just send me an email and I can help you with it. But please make sure that your child is reading at least 20 minutes every night. And then also, I did talk about the spelling program we use, Words Their Way. And I did mention that students will be able to practice their words during the day. However, it is beneficial if they practice their words nightly, because we do have a spelling test every 2 weeks. So this year in fourth grade, GES is having standards-based reporting. This is something that they used in kindergarten through second grade. And this year, third grade and fourth grade will also be using standards-based reporting. I will be sending home a parent information letter discussing this more in detail. And after I get done with this slideshow, I am going to show you a brief slideshow that our curriculum department put together that will help explain this a little bit more. This is just a quick reminder about the first bell. It's 7:35. Tardy bell is at 7:40. And if your child is going to be absent or leaving early, just please send Jessica Rickman an email, and you can write down her email there. Now, students are dismissed at 2:55. So we love birthdays. Unfortunately, because of all the allergies and whatnot, we will not have food in the classroom. So there's no more of like bringing cupcakes or cookies at the end of the day. But, please feel free to, if you want, you can send pencils, erasers, little, gifts. You don't have to send anything. In the classroom, we have our own special way of celebrating birthdays. We've got these awesome glasses that students get to wear. They get, a little gift from me, and then they get to be the star of the day. Here's our schedule. This is posted on our website, but I did want to go ahead and show it to you just so you kind of know what the day looks like. We have science first thing after we circle up, and circle up is just where we get in a circle and we talk about our day. Then they go to specials at 8:55 to 9:45. We come back for math, And then we have shine time. And shine time is a time for students to really work on personalized learning. We call it personalized learning time. I'm usually going to be pulling groups. Kids will be working on activities that match their goals and what they want to improve in the most. And then from 11:40 to 12:10, we have recess. 12:10 to 12:40 is lunch. Then the whole afternoon is spent with humanities. We usually do reading first, and then we get into our writing. I can already tell that the afternoon is a very long time for our students, so I definitely try to incorporate some breaks in there. All right, and then we clean up and we dismiss. So some things that are just specific to our class. This year we are using class craft. I'm going to show you a little bit about that in a minute. We have a Star Student of the Week, and so instead of doing a poster, like all about me poster, I decided that it would be awesome if each week the Star Student could bring in pictures or artwork or something that describes who they are, and we will be posting these outside of the door for anyone to see when they walk by. We also will spend a lot of time in our WOW garden. I know last week we just did a random stop in and helped pull weeds. And so I did have some kids complain about itching, which I said was perfectly normal. However, if you know your child does have an allergy, then definitely let me know. Some of you mentioned that on your the parent information card the first night we met, so thank you very much. But like I said, we will be outside and so if you have any allergies, your child has any allergies, let me know. Now, one thing I would love to do is just have parents in the classroom. Throughout the year, I will request for helpers to come in for reading or for math. But another thing that we do is for our projects that we complete for social studies, I'd like to have that authentic audience. And so I will be, sending out invitations for parents to come in and watch. And then we will be using a digital data notebook. I know they used one last year for third grade math, but we will use one for all content areas. This is really going to be the responsibility of the student. They will be putting in there, it's on Google Slides, by the way. They'll be putting in there their progress that they're making in the different subjects, and it'll be a great tool to use to communicate their progress here at school. And whenever they get home, they can tell you all about it. All right, so our STAR folder is a yellow folder, and in it you're going to find the behavior calendar. You do not have to sign it nightly. Really, because of class crafts, I haven't had to sign very many STAR folders, and I really the only time I'll sign it is if they did, do something serious and I need to let you know. But normally I'll just give you a call if that occurs. Also in your STAR folder, you'll find homework and any papers that need to go home. We use a lot of technology in fourth grade. We use Google Classroom for all of the subject areas. And then we will also be blogging using Seesaw. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about Classcraft. I know your child has probably gone home and talked about it. Classcraft is basically a way to build classroom community using gamification. It's kind of like World of Warcraft. And students were able to choose what kind of character they wanted to be. And I was the one that put them into teams. We'll be switching out teams every 6 weeks or so. But I wanted to show you that parents can also participate in Classcraft. Your child, if they didn't get it home, there was a letter sent home that has their specific code. And if you need, just send me an email and let me know, like, hey, I want to get on Classcraft. How do I do it? And I'll help you with that. But these are some of the things you can do at home. You can actually add gold pieces to your child, to their character. If they do dishes or if they finish the day's homework in a timely manner, whatever it is that you have, you can customize this. And what's great about gold pieces is they can actually buy clothing for their character, different kinds of clothing and whatnot. So you can also see the progress in their child if I had to take away any health points or if I had to, if I got to give them points, you should be able to see that. I'm not using necessarily all of the benefits of Classcraft. I know like right now some parents have sent me messages and I've been responding. So this is brand new to me. Classcraft is the first year I've ever used it. You'll probably learn something that I didn't know. And the kids are definitely teaching me things about it every day. The other thing I really quickly wanted to talk about was the standards-based reporting. And so this is a presentation that was sent to us through our curriculum department. It is going to be just like a report card. So it is reported every 9 weeks. And it's basically not giving you just some number that means really nothing. It's basic, like, for instance, oh, they made a 95 or they made a 75. But it's telling you specifically the skill and if they're mastering that skill or not. This is kind of a sample of what it looks like. And like it says here, it's pulled directly from the Texas standards, which we call them the TEKS or the TEKS. And it matches the way that they're being taught in our district or in our daily schedule. So you'll see like place value and you'll see it broken down and if they have mastered that content or not. So what's great about it is you can expect to know more about detailed skill progress that your child is making. You'll be able to see if your child is struggling, and that's something that I can communicate with you, or I will communicate with you before the grading period's over. That way you're not in shock. We'll still send out a progress, for the 6 weeks. And then you can go on to Skyward at the end of the 9 weeks, just like you would for a report card, and you'll be able to see their status. So what if my child isn't progressing as expected? They will continue to receive instruction and support as they progress toward the standard. With standards-based assessment, students keep working toward each skill until mastery is achieved. So there's times where you might see a 1 or a 2. But don't worry, throughout the year, we'll continue to work on those skills and we'll get them up to a 3. That's the goal. So if your child's already mastered most of the standards, we're going to obviously understand this. And that's when we'll be providing those enriching activities. So you can go to GCISD's website. And let's see if I click on this. Let's see if it takes me. Yep, so you go to Departments and Programs. And I'm not sure where that was, but what I'll do is I'll send out the link for you. I'll just send this to you. And then that way you can have it in case you want to research more about it. Because I know that was a very brief introduction to standards-based reporting. But I will tell you from a teacher perspective, this is amazing. This is what I've been wanting for years now. This is how I assess them anyways. I use rubrics and checklists. And so it kind of takes out to me those activities that I would do just to get a grade in. Now I'll be able to tell you, okay, your child has mastered this skill or your child has not. They still need help with this particular skill. That pretty much sums up our evening. So please let me know if you have any questions.